Hello Broducers, it's Özgün here. In this video, I'm gonna listen to demos that you sent me from Discord. And if you missed the submissions, don't worry, I'm doing these streams monthly. So just join the Discord, link in the description, and just tune in the notifications I sent on Discord. And if you want to have more detailed feedback, you can always join the YouTube channel as a supporter, and you can get one free detailed feedback every month. And if you're ready, let's get into that video. Let's start with the first track.
The connection between our worlds. Our worlds.
I like the vocals. It looks like you are generated from the AI that we speak in the channel. I think it's fitting really nice, but I feel like the kick doesn't, cutting through from the mix.
Worlds.
So it has probably nice body and punch. I like it, but the click, the transient of the kick is not cutting through. But I really enjoyed the sounds that you add, the ambient sounds, the steps, the synth shots, the bass shots, they are sounding really on point. Yeah, like the full drop sounding production wise, it's sounding really cool. The arrangement wise, it sounds good. But I feel like the mix down is not there yet. And also maybe the track is still not properly mastered. Maybe that's one of the problems. It doesn't sound as big as a drop. Probably fix the problems with kick and bass. I don't know what's the problem with the bass, but I feel like bass could be covering more frequencies, and I'm not sure. Maybe it's about the groove. Maybe it's just about, the click of the top kick. So kinda I'm sometimes missing the kick in the drop, and it's just affecting the full impact of the drop. And other than that, I feel like the sounds, the synths that you are using, kind of a bit thin, like compared to this style of tracks. Maybe you can just boost with some OTT, after you make your sound, after you make the processing, just before the sidechain. I would put some OTT or, maybe isotope trash in clip control, just to boost the sound a little bit. So if you're gonna use the sounds from the drop, if you're gonna use the drop sounds and in the break, make sure you are adding enough movement, maybe enough ear candies. Now it's a bit empty to my ear and it's kind of repetitive. I already heard the same sounds in the drop. So if you wanna give me the same sound in the break, also just try to, change something or add something so it doesn't feel like it's repeating too much.
What we think, we become. What we think, we become. We become.
I love the track. I love the production. The arrangement is really good. I think, yeah, the mixdown needs work. And other than that, I want to hear a bit more variations on the synths. I feel like it's a bit repeating too much itself, but mostly I really enjoy the track. Really good job. I really like the vibe of this track. Let's jump to the second track now. Amazing profile picture. I love it. Yeah, the first thing, just look at the waveform, you will get the same thing. The just build up just before the drop is, louder than the drop. And which makes the drop impact less powerful. Like after jumping from this, very loud build up to the drop, I feel like, the drop missing so much energy. I feel like it doesn't have enough bass, it doesn't have enough power. But maybe if I just listen the drop, maybe that's already good. But if you play this drop after a build up that has more energy, more power, the drop is gonna just sound so weak. The first thing to solve it, like if you ask me like what is the, one of the best ways to achieve the biggest impacting drop, I would say that it's the build up, not even the drop itself. Like if the build-up is energy level 10, the drop is energy level 7, something like that. Just try to make the balances according to each other. But yeah, I'm definitely sure like you gotta boost a bit of the low frequencies. The very bass frequencies are kind of weak in this drop. And maybe the last part of the drop, you can add some, extra synth, maybe some plug, something different, just to break the repetitiveness on the last section of the drop. Break sounding really good, and the relationship between drop and break also works. Like the break has less energy than the drop, that's perfect. Yeah, man, the same problem in the second drop. The build-up has more energy than the drop, but other than that, I love the vibe. It's so positive, and the synths that you use all of them are on point. Really decent track again. I just skipped one track because that was already the Spotify link, so I don't like to give feedback to an already released track. So I'm gonna go to the next one. The first thing, when there is no kick, you don't need to sidechain, the chords, whatever you have, the pads. So if there is no kick, just make them, play as they are. This main plug could be like more wet. Maybe you can try to give it a bit more reverb. So now it's a bit too dry in the mix. I love this glitchy effect on the lead. It's sounding really different. I feel like the break is a bit empty. Like maybe you can have some top loop to, keep the groove going. But I'm not sure. Maybe again, it's about the side chains. Like there's no kick, but everything is kind of wobbling. And I don't know. It's a bit maybe too dry. The synths are too dry. Or maybe you don't have enough things going on in the break. Yeah, maybe the problem is like the synths, some of them are so high and the bass is playing the really low octave, and maybe in the between the mids are not enough, because kind of I feel like there's some missing frequencies in the break section, but I cannot, address the problem exactly. In here, like you have ARP and two different synths playing the melody. Make sure to separate them with EQ and also maybe some pannings. Or maybe I feel like they are just clashing with each other. Just think like musically if you like. And maybe you can mute one of them, or maybe, you can filter some sound and just give some room, give some space for the other sounds. Now, all the sounds are, I feel like, kind of fighting. Maybe it's about the mixdown, maybe it's just about, composing it. But yeah, there's some, crowdness in the and last parts of the break section. Like I really enjoyed the groove that you keep changing from, the 4 on the floor to the trap vibe. It's cool, it's experimental, but yeah, there's some problems in, technical problems that I address. But overall, this is a nice production in my opinion. Going to the next track. Everything sounds good, but I think maybe in not the sub, but the second octave, maybe in 100 hertz, the bass are kind of lacking. Maybe it's not wobbly enough. It could sound more big. Just an idea. What if you try to boost the fifth? Like if let's say if the key of the track is D sharp, I don't know what it is, but if it's D sharp, I will boost to A sharp, the fifth of the root in second octave. Just try to do that in the bass, and maybe it makes the bass so much bigger. I feel like bass is lacking just a little bit harmonics, but other than that, everything's so good. The thing I'm saying, just small idea and some detail. I already like the whole production so far. Yeah, man, I got no other feedbacks, and as I see, like the track is already, scheduled for the release. So yeah, other than the bass, other than the the missing frequencies on the bass, in my opinion, there's no problems with this track. And I'm gonna go to the next track. Okay, now we are going to the next track.
Awakening.
I feel like the awakening vocal kinda ending in off key. I would, go to Melodyne or Newton or whatever DAW using, and just make sure the last phrase, like last sibling of the awakening, just fit to the key. I think now it's kind of going a bit drift to some upper keys, and yeah, just try to make sure to fix the vocal. I will work on it. And just before the drop, the ARP. This sound is a bit too stable in my opinion. I will also automate some parameters, something to give it more movement. In the drop, I feel like the kick is a bit too small compared to bass. Like, if I were you, I would get the reference track and maybe cut all the high frequencies so you can only listen and focus the low end of the reference track. And just compare where the reference track kick stays and where's your kick, and where's the bass of the reference staying and where's your bass. Then you can, adjust the relationship between kick and bass. Now the kick is just a bit small compared to your bass. The bass is so huge, I love it. But yeah, now the kick becomes so much smaller. Really nice ARP, like remind me the old Tiesto days.
The music lifts me up to the sky. I'm reaching new heights as I fly. My soul is free. My spirit soars.
The vocals in Break sounds really cool, but the only thing I would add is just some reverbs just before the phrases of the vocal, so it can just prepare it and add a really nice ear candy.
Awakening to a higher force. Awakening to a higher force. Awakening.
Yeah, man, this is such a nice melodic techno track. There's so small problems that I mentioned earlier, but other than that, I love the work and really good job. Congratulations on this track. We are going to the next track. Yeah, like I love this kind of psytrance tracks. Like after you make a sound design and give me psychedelic sounds, I wonder how the drop hits, just after it. And this one is not hitting as hard as I expected after 1 minute of intro. So make sure your kick, clicks cuts through the mix. And maybe that's about the sample selection, or maybe just EQ, or maybe just the balance that you have. And the rolling bass, the main side bass. With the kick, the relationship, just make sure to, both the kick and both the bass can sound as they are. Now, I think they are not cutting through the mix. The rest of the elements are a bit too loud, or maybe masking the kick and bass. Like the hi-hat, rolling hi-hat is louder than the kick. Then that's not good. Idea-wise, I love it. Like the feels, the transitions, they are all on point, but the main kick and bass balance is not as it should be, in my opinion. I'm just talking about, the mix down and the technical stuff. I'm not talking about the musicality, because I think the track is already so good in the musicality.
Psychotic would play. Psychotic would play that song right now.
This glitchy lead should be more loud, and in terms of stereo imaging, it should be more wide, maybe more reverb, maybe more polishing with some OTT or some EQ. Just make sure to give me the fresh, the new glitchy lead sound, which is a really signature sound in this kind of psytrance tracks. Just give me it more clean and more hearable. Now, it's again fighting with the spot. The freak nature, the nature sounds are kind of too in the front in the mix. It's okay, they can be front, they can be the main element, but when you are bringing me some glitchy lead, just push everything a bit back off the mix and make me listen kick bass and the glitchy leads. That's the thing I'm talking about, the technical mix down thing. Yeah, man, I think like almost 9 minute song. I wanted to listen as a full, but I couldn't include the 9 minutes track into the, feedback stream. Yeah, those are the feedbacks. Like all of them are just technical feedbacks. I love this kind of music. I already listened this kind of music so much. And musically, I think it's amazing. Like the message, like everything, the sounds that you choose, they're all on point. Only problem is the main balances between kick and bass and the main sounds with the ambient sounds that you put. Like they are kind of conflicting and fighting in terms of technical speaking. But other than that, perfect job, good job. Going to the next track. Wasn't expecting side bass from the Poisoned, I expected some big room, but yeah, that's the order makes sense now. I feel like the vocals are a bit too, loud. Just maybe 1 or 2 dB you can reduce the volume of the vocals in here.
I wanna fight all of your demons.
Dude, I love the idea, but I feel like the main lead is so mono. Like, because kick bass already mono, think like the main drop lead should have some more stereo information. Yeah, man, just perfect energy. I just wanted to hear the lead a bit wider, that's all.
Tell me your secrets and I'll keep them. Yeah, I'll bring heaven to your sheets. Show me your scars, what makes you human. I wanna get to know your skin. Yeah, you can.
Okay, two notes. First is the second drop bass could have the resonating fifth again. You can make the sub a bit wobbly. I think like the 100 and 150 hertz area, that narrow area, a bit lacking of the wobbly bass. I don't know how to express it. Just try to EQ the bass. Maybe that's just it. And the other thing, like I love the LFO build up. Yeah, now here to here the transition, I don't like it. Maybe like after vocal, you can have a gap, just we did after the first drop. And somehow you can then start the, the LFO riser. Yeah, other than that, the perfect track, man. I really like this one. So good, man. Every track you sent is better than the previous one, so really good job. Okay, we are starting to the next track.
Hey yo, you niggas must be out your fucking mind. Thinking dog can't pull another motherfucker, grab it out the hat. Think I ain't gotta trip up my motherfucking speed, you bitch ass nigga. Fuck that niggas, nigga. That niggas think I'm doing just sitting around doing nothing. Oh my god, niggas can't be serious. Where the hood, where the hood, where the hood at? Had a nigga in the truck, where the wood at? All the niggas acting up, where the wolf at? You better bust that if you don't fall that. Where the hood, where the hood, where the hood at? Had a nigga in the truck, where the wood at? All the niggas acting up, where the wolf at? You better bust that if you don't fall that.
Like, the melody is good, but I would shorten the MIDI, you know? I think the MIDI is too long, and if you just make it a bit short, the main melody, like, instead of, you know, touching MIDI, touching each other, instead of making them short, this part can be so much tighter, but yeah, it sounds good. It's like fitting perfectly to the previous vocal. Finally, good job. Like, I love the drop. The synths are so good. The second part of the drop, you are switching to another synth. This is so good, and the synth feels like you have it all. I love it, you know. I don't have any negative feedbacks. I think this track is so good and already release ready. Good job, man. Congratulations. I'm proud of you. Going to the next track.
Let's go.
I feel like the chord steps kinda not in, you know, the grid. Like, sometimes they are shifting in terms of rhythmically, and I would give them more volume. And other than that, there's the, you know, bop bop, like the acid feel, the 303 feel. Also, just make sure it's fitting to the grid perfectly. I feel like they are, you know, kinda conflicting with the bass. But other than that, nice ambient, you know, big room techno trance kind of drop. Love it.
Don't know anything about you. So close, just a touch away. Your love hits me like no other. They say I'm a true believer. I know some things take it over now. I wanna run, but I don't know how. You just cross my border now. Just a kiss, you're so dangerous.
I was gonna ask, like, if you have claps or, you know, something that we can, you know, groove vibe listen, and yeah, you bring the drums and the claps in the second part. That is good. The problem in here, the break vocals are louder than the break climax parts, the synths. Make sure they are in equal volume, they are same volume. Because the energy is instantly dropping if you don't, make the volume balances correctly. I think this part is too long. Just, I would cut the half of it and just go directly to the build-up. Yeah, guys, the second drop sounds so cool. I love it. There's no negative feedbacks, just, several volume balances. And that's all, really decent track to release, I think. Let's go to the next track. Already perfect track, man. Yeah, I don't have any negative feedback. Everything sounds so on point. Everything sounds so balanced. The mixdown is good. Feels like it reminds me the old Kevu sound. Yeah, very well produced. I think it's really balanced and everything is on point so far. Yeah, the only problem is I think the second drop is kind of same with the first drop. Just make sure to add more variations. Change something in the second drop so it doesn't feel like copy-paste. But other than that, yeah, I love all the productions. Really good job, brother. We are going to the next track.
Nothing has ever made me feel the way you do. And now I'm stuck in a world where there's no more you. Baby, you'll be down for me, down, down. You said you'll be down for me. Where are you now? You'll be down for me, down, down. You said you'll be down for me. Where are you now? Baby, you'll be down for me, down, down. You said you'll be down for me. Where are you now? You'll be down, you said down.
So far, so good. You know, the first drop I think is too short. Just I will make it double. If you check the reference, similar reference track, you will see that the drop took like 16 bars instead of 8. Yeah, just make sure to make it double if you like. For, you know, if you want to fit the generic structure of this kind of progressive house track, you gotta make the drop 2 times longer.
One more night, I wish I could have one night with you. But you crossed the bridge that I couldn't follow, left me in the blue. Baby, you'll be down for me, down, down. You said you'll be down for me, where are you now? You'll be down for me, down, down. You said you'll be down for me, where are you now? Baby, you'll be down for me, down, down. You said you'll be down for me, where are you now? You'll be down for me, down, down. You said you'll be down for me, where are you now?
I feel like the drop lacks of a bit groove. Make sure that like solo kick, solo bass, make sure the side chains and the groove are good between them. Then start to add elements. I will, you know, mix the drop. And if you mix the drop properly in terms of the volume balances, the rest of the track is gonna be according to each other and it's not gonna be that much hard. So in here, I think you can check the side chains. And other than that, maybe it's good if you layer the main drop bass. I feel like you have the bass, but it's not dirty enough. If it's not dirty enough, and it's not the mid frequencies not covered well, in my opinion. In like this kind of progressive house tracks, you gotta layer the bass maybe with 3 parts. You know, the sub bass, the mid bass. Like the mid bass is gonna give the texture and the character. And also you can layer a top bass. So yeah, like several synths I always see. I don't make this kind of music. I didn't produce much tracks like that. But in my experience, I always needed to layer the bass in at least three different parts. So it makes the drop sounds much more fuller. But other than that, I love it. All the melodies are perfect. The vocals and the relationship between the synths that you choose, they sound so on point. Yeah, just the drop, in my opinion, just the drop needed to be a bit more big than this one. But other than that, really decent track, nice emotions, good job, man. Jumping to the next track. This part is clipping. Just make sure you are having enough headroom. When you bring the, you know, the big climax sounds, the NIF synths, I feel like everything is compressed by the limiter or whatever you have in the master. I feel like the drop melody is a bit too random, you know. We are in the quarter of the drop and you still didn't, you know, repeat anything. Every NIF melody, every NIF note is something NIF, and if you make it like that, it's kind of impossible to, you know, dance with the drop and get to the rhythm. You gotta make the drop melody so much rememberable. I gotta, you know, understand what it is in the quarter. Now we're in the quarter, but still now I don't remember what was the main melody. And again, the compressing problem is happening in the drop as well. I suspect like your mix is too loud and you are just smashing the limiter or the master on the master, so it's just squeezing, compressing the whole track. It's just limiting everything, and the sounds are kind of fighting with each other, and like I cannot give any technical feedback just listening this over compressed mix. I would suggest you to rebalance everything. Just make sure you lower all the faders down, you have enough headroom so it doesn't make this much squeezing in the track. And yes, so far the two problems, over compressing problem and the melodies, are kind of not rememberable. Like the breaks kind of starting too sudden. I would give it more time, slowly fade in, or just lower the cutoff filter for the ARP. Don't give the ARP as big as it is already. And yeah, the same problem in the second drop as well. If you are having struggles, you can always post your track on the feedback section in the Discord. If I'm not available, there's so many helpful, producer friends in the channel, in the Discord. They will gladly help, and I'm gonna try to check. If you have, updated versions, you can just post your track in the feedback section. So we will gladly take another look of the track. And yeah, don't hesitate to send me new tracks on the next feedback stream. I think we are on the last 4 demos for today's stream.
Magic Cell.
Really nice sounds. I'm not familiar with the genre, but I'm happy what I hear so far. The groove is so good. The sounds are, I think, perfect. Like everything sounds so, as a whole. But since it's probably the first time I'm listening this kind of track, I don't have that much feedback. But yeah, in the technical side and the mix down side, I think everything sounds good. Even judging from the waveform, maybe you could clip the transients just a little bit more, so you could, compress or make the track bigger. But I'm not sure even. Maybe this is genre-specific things, but how you master the track. Everything sounds so cool. Yeah, there's no negative feedback on my side. I think that's a really good track. Good job, and I love the groove of it. It's like high-low vibes. I like this kind of style. I feel like the kick bass is good. The kick bass are good. But I feel like the main pluck sound is kind of a bit too dry. And also it's just overtaking the role of the king from the kick, Maybe you can just lower it a bit. Maybe Give it, I'm not sure, just a little bit more reverb. I don't know. It's kind of too dry and too, you know, front in the mix currently. It fits, but in terms of mixdown, it's too dry and too loud. I would give it tons of reverb and make it so ambient. Give it more delay, reverb, and EQ the lows. I think in the low mids, in especially 300 to 500 hertz, it's just resonating as hell. Just dip, don't forget to dip those frequencies. So you need to make sure it's just fitting to the mix. Now it's playing, you know, very front of the mix. The rest of the elements are too pushed to the back. Dude, it's like production-wise, I mean the arrangement-wise, idea-wise, 10 out of 10. I love the drop. I love it so far. This part is a bit too repetitive without, you know, happening something new. Just add some variations in this section.
I can't see.
For example, just before the vocal starts, you can have a reverse reverb, you know, make us ready for the vocal, what comes next.
I'm hypnotized by you. I'm hanging on to what you say. I'm hypnotized by you.
The vocal is really unbalanced. In build up, it's too loud and too dry. In break section, still, you know, you can mix it more properly. Make sure to, you know, EQ it properly, give it enough compression, and the delay reverb so important. Dude, this is a perfect track. I don't want to play the whole track because when you finish it and release it, I want to have it as a surprise, you know. I don't want to consume the track now. Like idea-wise, as I said, 10 out of 10. But technically, you gotta mix it more properly to make a really big track, you know. So yeah, man, I hope you can make this track as a banger. And if you release it, just make sure to, you know, send me. So I like to check it out when it's released. Bass is too loud. Like, yeah, bass. Before the bass, everything was so perfect. It's still so good, but bass is like maybe, you know, couple dBs more than it should be.
Story you can
I know this kind of glidey and if the bass is changing notes too much, like it's so hard to mix it. You can try to clip or compress the bass. That's one of the things. Or maybe you can, even just adjust the volumes by just an automation. Amazing track again. Like the drop was so unexpected and I love how it is, There's tons of variations. Every 4 bar there's something new happening. This is what I'm looking for. It's perfect. And I like how you combine drum and bass with hardstyle, raw style. It fits so perfectly. Dude, it's the perfect track. I really enjoyed it. So there's not much negative feedbacks on my side. It's already release ready. I will just tame the main bass, just make sure sometimes it's just too loud, sometimes it's less loud. Just make sure to compress it, or just the volume automations. And I think that's all. There's nothing to fix. So really good job on this one. We are going to the last track of today's stream. And let's go. Really nice Dharma vibes. I love the MIDI. I love the melodies. Everything's so cool. I love the violin that is playing in the beginning of the break. The climax could be mixed a bit better. I think like you can work on the leads and the super soft layerings. I feel like it's just a little bit too wet in my opinion. But that was actually good. But I'm trying to make it perfect with little details. Maybe it's just my opinion. But yeah, it could sound more clean and more maybe a bit more dry. But other than that, so cool. Like, I love the drop melody, but when you start the drop, maybe you can just have the melody, kick, bass, and then you can bring the drums, the claps, the hi-hats, whatever you're using. Just when you start the drop, don't start with all the drums that you have. Yeah, like when you do that, you are already playing the end part of the drop, you know? And there's nothing much to do left. But if you just start with kick, bass, and the lead, the main melody, and then you start at the hi-hat or clap, and then you start your top loop after 4 bars, after 8 bars, then you can make a progression in the drop. But if you just play everything you have just in the beginning, you are just, you know, spending all of the cards that you have. And other than that, the drop like have a bit too much high frequencies. Kinda the sounds are harsh on the highs. So just try to balance the lows and the highs more properly. But other than that, it's so good. Maybe in the second part, instead of, you know, playing the same chords, just try to add some kick. Maybe cut the high frequencies of the kick, push it really back off the mix. So just give us something to dance. Then it doesn't feel like it's copy-pasted. It sounds really nice, man. I love the melodies. I love the emotions. The tracks fit so much to the Dharma label, the Kashmir's label. But yeah, try to fix the little details, and I think it's already release ready. In terms of idea, it's already so good. Okay guys, today I listened the demos that you sent me from Discord. I hope I didn't miss or skip any of the demos accidentally. So if you want to join the next feedback stream, you can join the Discord, link in the description. And other than that, if you like to have more detailed personal feedbacks, you can join my channel on the YouTube. And today that was it guys. I hope you can apply this to your own productions as well. See you on the next video. Bye bye.